Provo Cave, the Cave of Death. Back in 2005, workers sealed off a cave entrance using rocks and fresh concrete, a response to a tragic incident where 4 hikers lost their lives inside a small water-filled underground chamber on Y Mountain. The victims were identified as Jennifer Lynn Galbraith, 21, residing in Pleasant Grove, Scott K. McDonald, 28, from Provo, Ariel Singer, 18, hailing from Orem, and Blake Donner, 24, from Springfield. According to Linny Sanford, Provo Police Records Supervisor, a preliminary report from the State Medical Examiner's Office indicated drowning as the cause of death for all 4 individuals. The group embarked on their fateful journey as they ventured into the foothills between the towering Y on Y Mountain and Seven Peaks Water Park around 3 a.m. on Thursday. Accompanying them was another friend, Joseph Ferguson, 26, from Reno, Nevada. Ferguson opted out of joining his friends as they entered the rocky entrance of the cave around 4:30 a.m. Inside the cave, at a junction, the group followed a damp pathway veering left, stretching roughly 50 feet before arriving at a chamber with a cavity in the floor leading to an underwater passage. This tunnel, only around 15 feet in length, connected to another small chamber. They slipped into the water one by one and made their way to the other chamber, but this is where they made their grave mistake. You see, the space they emerged in was quite small. With just enough room for about 7 or 8 people, the water comes to roughly chest level, and there's only about 2 to 3 feet of clearance to the ceiling. Now experienced spelunkers and cave divers are probably familiar with the term cave air. Cave air refers to air found within underground caves. Good cave air can serve as a temporary air pocket if you run into trouble with your diving equipment or get stuck in a cave due to flooded passages on your way out. But bad cave air can potentially have adverse side effects or even result in death due to stagnation of the air and natural gases building up from erosion such as methane, radon, and carbon dioxide. There's no telling what the conditions of the air were as they headed in, but with the air pocket being so small, it is likely that if the group even spent a few minutes in the space, there would likely be reduced oxygen levels and a steady increase in carbon dioxide. This would make it hard to breathe, think, and move efficiently back through the tunnel. After waiting anxiously for 45 minutes for his friends to return, Ferguson grew increasingly uneasy. He contacted acquaintances familiar with the cave and reached out to the police at 6:25 a.m. Rescue teams initiated efforts to drain water from the cave and introduce oxygen to sustain air for any survivors running short on breath. The pumping process lowered the water level by 2 feet, enabling them to safely enter and commence the search. It took nearly 4 hours from the time of the police call before searchers uncovered the first body within the underwater tunnel. Rescue teams inferred from the position of the bodies that the hikers encountered difficulties while attempting to swim back toward the entrance opening in the initial chamber. They were all facing the same direction, said Lt. Dave Bennett of the Utah County Search and Rescue Team. We believe they went to the cavern and were on their way out. Speculations among several searchers suggested that the initial body, that of a female, might have obstructed the path for the other 3 individuals attempting to escape. As for the other 3, one body was discovered on the tunnel floor while the remaining 2 were found floating. People have got to understand it's a very dangerous environment, said Lieutenant Scott Finch of the Provo Police Department. We want people to enjoy the caves and mountains, but they have to be prepared. The hikers were discovered clad in sandals, while the 2 men were in shorts and shirtless. Rescuers utilized underwater breathing gear, along with wetsuits and air monitors during the operation. Among the discovered items were a single flashlight and a few unlit candles. However, it remained uncertain whether these belongings belonged to the hikers. The bodies were initially brought to a nearby mortuary for identification by relatives and were subsequently transported to the medical examiner's office in Salt Lake City for autopsies. "It's tough," Bennett said. "You want to go in and save a life." He emphasized the need for cautious and deliberate actions by crews to ensure the safety of the rescuers. At any given time, 4 rescuers stood watch at the cave entrance, although the team expanded to as many as 7 when relocating search equipment. Various emergency agencies, including the Provo Police and Fire Mountain Rescue Team, Utah County Search and Rescue, the Department of Public Safety Dive Team, and the Orem Fire Department Hazardous Materials Unit were all involved in the operation. In the wake of their daughter, Jennifer Lynn Galbraith's passing, her parents remained deeply saddened, but found solace in the belief that she wasn't alone. Reflecting on their loss, Chris Galbraith, Jennifer's father, shared, "My parents have died, and when I heard about Jennifer, the first thing I thought was that she's being greeted by them right now." Galbraith acknowledged the strength of their family's faith and the unwavering support from relatives, friends, and their LDS community, which has been a pillar of strength during this trying time. "I'm grateful for our beliefs," he said. "We know we'll see her again." Recalling Jennifer, Galbraith cherished memories of her as a vibrant, fun-loving individual who adored spending time with her friends. "I take comfort in knowing she was doing something she loved, and she was with her friends," he said. The Galbraiths held dear memories of Blake Donner, Jennifer's significant other. "He was so thoughtful of his family," said Doris Galbraith, Jennifer's mother. "That's what I really respected about him." Doris Galbraith, who works alongside Donna's mother at Utah Valley State College, shared that Donna grew up as an only child. "I feel bad for us, but I feel even worse for her," Doris Galbraith said of Donna's mother. "I can't imagine what she's going through." A close friend depicted Donna as a versatile individual, an artist, writer, and vocalist in the rock band Parallax. He was a student at UVSC and actively engaged with the Food Not Bombs charity organization. Jennifer Galbraith is survived by her parents, along with 2 sisters and a brother. All 4 hikers were residents of Utah County, and some had prior experience exploring the cave. Steve Hundley had shared a meal with the hikers on the evening preceding their excursion. The friends dubbed it the Cave of Death, in jest just the night before Steve recounted. During the gathering, one of the girls recounted her previous encounter in the cave, mentioning how she had fainted from the cold during a harrowing incident but managed to navigate her way out safely. Unfortunately, her and her friends were not so fortunate this time round. We appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoy these true stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest grim tales. Share your own close calls in the comments below, and remember, true tales can be truly twisted. Until next time, stay curious.